I don't know how many of you heard Mitch McConnell's speech immediately after Senate Republicans, including himself, voted to acquit former President Trump. It was quite a speech in which he really took the former president to task, and they played some excerpts from it on the cable news and Sunday shows, but I think it's worth listening to the whole speech to get the full power of it, and I'm going to give you the opportunity right now to hear everything that Minority Leader McConnell said on Saturday after that historic vote.
January 6th was a disgrace. American citizens attacked this Capitol, armed with everything from hockey sticks to flagpoles to Louisville sluggers from my home state of Kentucky, with the goal of hunting down the Speaker of the House, putting a bullet in her head, and stringing up the Vice President of the United States. They did this because they had been fed wild falsehoods by President Trump, Ted Cruz, also Ron Johnson, Josh Hawley, and Lindsey Graham. People have absolutely no control over it all. And a number of freshman senators, none of whom I've ever met personally. The attackers were carrying out what they believed to be the president's wishes. They would not have stopped upon blowing Speaker Pelosi's brains out and lynching Mike Pence on their crude homemade gallows, watching his legs twitch violently till the life drained out of his body. Now make no mistake, this mob comprised a sizable part of our party's base. And they would not have been satisfied until every Democrat member in both chambers of this hallowed body had been tortured and killed and dismembered. And what was President Trump's reaction? He sat in the Oval Office, his feet up on the Resolute desk, watching TV, scarfing down caramelized popcorn, and relishing every act of violence committed on his behalf. By all accounts, he was as giddy as a 5-year-old girl on Christmas morning. Now, all of this was absolutely foreseeable. Everyone should recognize the consequences of the wild myths that were circulating when the President and Senators Cruz, Johnson, Hawley, the others, who've been joined by more than 140 Republican nutjobs in the House in trying to overturn our election. A number of our colleagues trafficked in wild conspiracy theories that somehow Joe Biden had been the leader of a pedophile ring, murdering children and drinking their blood. While plausible, that turned out not to be factually accurate, at least insofar as all posts of President Biden and Hillary Clinton devouring adorable toddlers appeared to be photoshopped by Senator Graham, who for God knows what reason will do anything Donald Trump seems to ask of him. I don't know why. It was entirely foreseeable. The members of the mob interpreted all this as license to invade the Capitol and spread feces on the portraits of former Democrat leader Mike Mansfield of Montana and Hawaii Senator Daniel Inouye, a war hero from World War II, on our side. On our side. Now, the fellow in the Camp Auschwitz hoodie tried to stop them from spreading the feces on Dan Inouye, thinking, out of pure ignorance, that Danny had bombed us at Pearl Harbor, which he did not. Dan Inouye fought with us. He fought with us. He was a hero on our side. Our side. Our side. Now, in retrospect, it was entirely foreseeable. These people would spread feces in this manner. Many of these riders had low-fiber diets. Some, who had high-fiber diets, defiled the statue of John Quincy Adams to make it appear that he had had a full head of hair, which he did not. But let me be clear, the real responsibility For this resides with one man, Donald Trump. Did he at any time tweet his followers to stop hunting down Vice President Pence, who had served him with not just loyalty, but with slavish obsequiousness to the point of ceaseless humiliation, and how he was rewarded by allowing himself to be debased for 4 long years? And how was he rewarded for allowing himself to be debased for 4 long years? Hang Mike Pence! Hang Mike Pence! Hang Mike Pence! Hang Mike Pence! It is abundantly clear that President Trump would not have been satisfied till every obstacle to maintaining power had been eliminated, even if that entailed the brutal murder of everyone in this building, including me. And yet, I could not vote to convict him 5 minutes ago, because I'm a man who respects the Constitution. And the Constitution is very plain. We have no power to convict and disqualify a former office holder who is now a private citizen. Now, some may say it was well within my power as then majority leader to take up the articles of impeachment that the House had passed a full week before President Trump's term had expired. Well, allow me to make a couple of points. We were on recess. We here in the Senate were on recess. We were back in our home states on recess. Senators Murkowski and Sullivan were way up in Alaska. That's far away. To get here for an impeachment trial, they would have had to fly to Seattle, which is a long flight in and of itself, and then have a 2-hour layover in the Seattle-Tacoma airport. Well, I ask you, will that have been fair to them? Not only that, but there was a lot of broken glass all over the Capitol, not to mention the feces, which was smeared not just on portraits and statues, but all over the walls. And that would not have been fair to the custodial staff to rush an impeachment trial just so we could try a president who clearly would have countenanced the murder not just of the vice president, the speaker, and countless members of Congress, but also of the custodial staff itself. Look, impeachment is a very drastic remedy, a limited tool that should be reserved for presidents who have had extramarital sex. But there are remedies other than impeachment. We have a criminal justice system in this country. The former president could be charged for serious crimes. And because he would no doubt be a flight risk, he would have to await trial in prison. And given the gravity of his crimes, in all likelihood, a maximum security prison, where he would be housed with hardened, violent criminals, and undoubtedly forced to seek the protection of the Aryan Brotherhood against other gangs, like the Black Guerrilla family and Waestra Familia. There's been a dispiriting time. And with this behind us, I hope we can move on, do the work of the American people by rejecting the wanton recklessness and shameless political bloodlust of the Democrat Party. I would suggest the absence of a quorum.